panelists from various sectors, from energy side, IT, university, and also beauty and wellness and manufacturing. So we would like to know that presently we are talking about new age skills in terms of skill development and using the skills. So how we can use the new age skills in their at the time of demand and supply, how we can match it and see their success stories. So without asking that, there's no specific questions here, but I would like to understand their perspective, what are the areas, how they are focusing in terms of new age evaluation of demand and supply new age skills. So I would like to know from Ramana Reddy sir, and he's into pioneer in renewable energy, to understand more in terms of renewable energy is the future in terms of creating employment opportunities and of bringing entrepreneurs. To know more in terms of how you're using newest skills for in renewable energy.
So thank you, Kartikeya, for asking me this very important question and pertinent question for today's world. So now we are passing through a major energy transition. That means till now we were using a traditional source of energy. So like hydel, thermal, or any other coal-based gas-fired power plants, to now we are moving to renewable energy. So that means more focus is on solar energy, wind energy, and also now energy storage technologies. Further moving on, we are also going forward, we are going towards a generation of green hydrogen by using this renewable energy. So all these efforts put together, we are leading a path towards decarbonization, ultimately a net zero, which is the target set by Honorable Prime Minister of India. So our country has set the target of net zero by 2070. Similarly, many countries all over the globe, they have set the net zero target. That means wherever the possibility to reduce the emissions, that is polluting whatever the gases we are releasing by various activities, especially in the energy generation sector. If you take coal-fired or gas-fired power plants, we are emitting a lot of greenhouse gases. So if you want to reduce these gases and ultimately move towards decarbonization path and also achieve our target of net zero by 2070. So there is a lot of focus being given on renewable energy usage and also storage. So one is the usage. That means whenever the nature gives, you have to generate, either you have to use it or you have to store it. If you are generating excess than your requirement, you have to store it. So that every sector, if you take solar industry, 1000 megawatt solar plant means, and approximately both direct and indirect, you will get 1000 employment generation. So similarly, recently we have taken a policy initiative for promoting these kind of industries. Recently we have given sanction for more than 25 gigawatt of industries, like all put together, solar, wind and pumped hydro storage. That means either directly, indirectly, we are creating green jobs of 25,000 green jobs in Andhra Pradesh itself. Leave apart from manufacturing. I am not talking about manufacturing related to power sector. I am talking only about establishment of power plants, its O&M, its further maintenance. So if you add manufacturing also, it is multiple times. So this is the feature of green energy and green skills and green jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I really, last year GIS, Global Innovation Summit, Ramana Reddy sir and his energy department assigned almost 9 lakh crore investment to brought for the state of Andhra, and we can understand that how many employment opportunities we can create. And also we travel a lot to COP28 and other places to understand the energy ecosystem in terms of solar and wind and pump storage, which we can create an employment opportunity for our youth also, which we can collaborate with the Skill Development Corporation. We can foresee that what we is required for to get that EV we're talking about it, how we can train people to become technicians for the EV. Before getting into that, we can make through that work readiness. And with this, I would like to introduce our next panelist, Sanjay Kumar. He's a Senior Vice President, Global CHRO, APAR Industries. I'm fortunate to visit his plant, their plant in Mumbai. And he has got rich experience, almost 20 plus years experience in human resource. Sanjay ji, I would like to know various methods, like, a lot of gap in recruiting people, academia and industry, you're finding the gaps. How are you going to address those gaps, and how are you training your people? What are the methods using into that? We would like to know more, your experience, and in terms of what are the challenges you're facing, how you're going to overcome those. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Kartikeya, and good afternoon, everyone. And this is a question I would like to begin actually responding that by an analysis, making a problem statement of why this challenges there, and then quickly moving on to what are the solutions we are facing and we are deploying in our company. So I think if we look at the data, this is a general problem. Last year, 2023, NASSCOM published the data that 57% of the engineers who passed out of the engineering colleges were found to be unemployable. Secondly, there's a large percentage of engineers who could not actually get jobs. So one problem is whether we have lesser institutions. The other is what is the kind of education we are providing. The third thing, if you see, going back to the Honorable Minister, that skill is not what you do by hands only, it's 360 degree. So the IIMs, even the established ones, this year are facing a challenge to place 100% of their students. The IIM guys who would get 3 to 8 jobs each, they are also facing a challenge this year. So all this, what does it show? So even the MBA course, which is a generalist course, there also now the demand is more for specific skills, specialization. So one of the reasons for this is that the curriculum of the educational institutions, I think that is one reason, the quality of the curriculum. Secondly, the content. The second is, I think, the regular updation based on the relevance of the new age industry. What are the new trends? Digitization, ESG, environmental, social and governance issues. That is probably not that much there. If we look at the faculty, most of the professors, they would be, with all respect due to them, so some of them may be sitting, I would say, in their ivory towers of knowledge, and maybe, they have not had a practical experience in the industry. So that could be one of the reasons. Admission tests now have lowered down. The government colleges are extremely good, but if you look at the huge proliferation of private colleges, so their admission is a little easier. Passing an exam is also easier. The fee is so high that, probably the college also has a, stake in getting them passed. Even this begins from the root, I would say, with the primary, middle and higher education level also. It is a holistic solution that is needed. So as far as the solution we are doing at APAR Industries Limited, I would say is, I think one is, for example, we have tied up with Chandigarh University, and their teachers come and their professors come and intern with us. They work with us for 6 to 12 months, enroll, sometimes 24 months also, and then they go back to the university and then they teach there. So they know what are the challenges, what are the practical problems, what are the subtle nuances of a workplace. So, and then transfer those skills to the students. That's easier for them. The other thing is that with Wellinkers, what we have done is we have initiated a course which is co-certified by APAR Industries and Wellinkers, wherein our senior management is getting trained. It's a 7-month module we have jointly curated. And that's how to think strategically. What are the, how to deploy the tools and techniques of management effectively and in practical areas. So that is one, the other thing which we are trying to do. Then, our employees are also visiting. I mean, this is not only we are doing, many companies are doing, all of you, I think, esteemed panelists who are there. So their employees are leaders also going. They're going to the engineering colleges, MBA colleges and teaching there. We are not restricting ourselves to only the universities, but also, for example, in nuclear technology, wherein we have, at APAR, we have introduced the E-beam, electron beam technology for the first time for cables. So there the nuclear technology is deployed, and it's not easy to get permissions. So we have worked with, because, the many employees from lowest to highest levels have graduated. They have risen to in their lives. Many employees who have not succeeded in other companies, they have succeeded with us because we have a culture of empowerment and giving them some independence and room for experimentation and failures. So these are some of the things which we have done, Mr. Kartikeya. So I would like to end that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Now we would like to know from the so many practices we'll have in terms of recruitment. So what are the dynamic forces in the digital age which you are incorporated?
So first, thanks for having me here, and I think the event was very well organized. Coming from a knowledge industry, before I answer the question, just want to state few facts. I think today the Indian technology industry is around $245 billion and employs close to 5.4 million employees. And out of that, 2 million are with digital skills. And with the adoption of digitization across the industries, I think the talent demand and supply gap has been increasing significantly, because especially in digital technologies are becoming irrelevant at a faster pace than we think. On an average, a skill will be irrelevant anywhere between 2.5 to 5 years, which means there is a constant urge to reskill, and the individual's learning ability should be significantly high. But I think from an India perspective, we are far more well positioned to address this challenge. One, because the reskillability of our talent is significantly higher. That is number one. Number two, the number of graduates who come out of STEM are close to 2.5 million every year. That is a significant graduate talent pool that is coming with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics background, who can be groomed to get into these technology skills to bridge the gap. As far as Wipro is concerned, I think we do multiple things for us. I think talent is the most important. They are the asset for us. We invest significantly in learning. Our intent is to create a long-term sustainable organization. For example, we have an in-house trainers, close to 300 people, who will be able to train close to 5,000 people on any given day. That's the kind of infrastructure that we put in place to help our associates to skill and also, upskill and reskill as well, right? That is number one. Number two, we also have something called Wipro Career Essentials, which has the technical mastery as well as the competency skills. Every practice in Wipro, every technology will have a technology stack in which every employee has to learn certain technologies to be able to work for our clients. Okay, that will position the individual at a particular level, and there's a clear learning path for the individuals to learn as they move up their experience levels. Similarly, if the individual plays an important role, there is a set of competencies we assess on. Okay, and we use a platform which is AI enabled, which is absolutely simulated the situations on the job for them to understand how they respond to different situations, and then we create what their strengths are and what are the opportunities to develop. And this is a constant process. It doesn't stop with one assessment or, it is a constant learning journey every individual goes through. And if they can't upskill, I think they'll be irrelevant and they'll be out of the organization very soon rather than later. So I think the individuals who are getting into the industry, it is important for them to come with the mindset that there is a constant appetite to learn. In fact, most of the organizations are looking at hiring for skills, hiring for learnability, rather than hiring for graduation degrees. Really, it doesn't matter. I mean, the skills and the learnability are two important traits that we look for individuals as they come into. And all our talent management practices, right from hire to retire, are aligned to these learning paths. Okay, we recognize people who learn, we promote people who are able to learn and get work in client projects. We give additional rewards for the people who are able to upskill on a constant basis. There are a lot of initiatives are towards the people who are able to reinvent themselves and stay relevant to our clients. Thanks.
Thank you, Prasad ji. So,
and time going to universities and colleges, setting up centers of excellence, labs, using proof of concepts sort of methods. But I think in today's times, the shift that we are really seeing is doing these things. Of course, we want to do this in person, but also try and do this at scale virtually as well. And these are, you can use platforms like your metaverse platforms. The previous company that I worked with, which is TCS, we piloted an environment wherein we could not go to about 1,000 colleges year on year. And hence we chose the path wherein we could enable anytime, anywhere learning, skill-based learning to the any corner of India. So you don't have to restrict yourself to metro cities in terms of attracting talent or giving them opportunities, but you open or you democratize opportunities to talent across the country. And we've been very successful in doing that. A lot of companies have followed suit. So in a sense, what we're essentially saying is, while a corporate may not be able to go to a specific college, the intent and the effort will be to reach out to talent, not just for tier 1 cities, to even tier 4 cities. So plenty of opportunities in this space, and we are seeing great acceptance from local governments, academia, adapting to a digital environment in terms of exchange of thought process, ideas, and ensuring that we skill people not just for our existing and future jobs, but also at the same time, kind of looking at the grassroots level skilling, where we start very early. We are, of course, companies are not just looking at going into undergraduate level skilling programs. We're also talking about going down to even 10th, 11th, 12th, area of skilling, where we start very, very early and not at the space at which we need them to be employable. So probably these are my thoughts from my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prithveesh.
I am Rimjim Saikia, and I'm the founder of Tatvik Ayurveda. It's a personal care brand. And since the last few years, we have done a lot of skilling and training programs in beauty and wellness. Now, when we talk about beauty and wellness, now we are narrowing it down to Ayurveda. So, in Ayurveda, what are the possibilities of skilling? There can be two types. One is, in case of product manufacturing, there can be more and more brands who are coming up with, manufacturing of the products and having a skilled workforce in those industries. And the second is in beauty and wellness, because Ayurveda, as we all know, now it is accepted, being more accepted widely, worldwide. So there are a lot of opportunities to actually skill and train people. And in India, as we all know, we all have Ayurveda in our traditions. We all are connected with yoga. We are connected together by yoga and Ayurveda. So this is inherent in us. So when it comes to sectors in skilling, there can be holistic wellness programs, trainers for those programs, and the recipients, or where these training programs can be executed, or after the training programs where the placements can happen. There is no limit to that. It can be across India, it can be globally, because the entire world is looking at Ayurveda as the next alternative medicine option. So starting from basic wellness to holistic wellness, Ayurveda has a lot of scope. So what we do as an organization is we conduct training programs for beauty, for grooming, for Ayurvedic treatments, and we also help with placements. We do place a lot of students with our partner organizations, and today it is, I would say, a very, very beautiful day where we have signed an MOU with the AP State Skill Development Corporation. So now we are more positive to be more associated closely with Andhra Pradesh to create more skilled workforce in the state, and also possibly more and more entrepreneurs in the beauty and wellness sector. As we all know, as I said once before as well, that Ayurveda is inherent in us. So we also have to look at the statistics. What is the requirement globally? If you see, now in the organic skincare market, it is an $8 billion industry worldwide. Organic skincare, I'm not talking about the total statistics of all skincare products. And Ayurvedic skincare and wellness products account for $2 billion. Right now, that is the statistics. So the trend is increasing at 30%, increase rate year on year. So there is a lot of scope in Ayurveda, not just in the skilling, but also in creating workforce for the sale of these products, for promotion. That is from where the actual revenue can be generated and can be, that can support more and more skill programs for the economy as a whole. So I'm very positive that our association, the Association of Tatvik Ayurveda, with the government of Andhra Pradesh and especially with the Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Corporation would be a very fruitful one, and we look positively towards it. And apart from that, I just wanted to say two things as a food for thought. We all must, as we are talking about Ayurveda, we must know about two of our great ancestors who have given us this contribution. The first is Yogi Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri was a king, and despite of being a king, he dedicated his life to giving us the beautiful knowledge of Ayurveda, right? So we say that Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Sudarshanaya Dhanvantraya. So that is how we pay our homage to him. And second is Maharshi Patanjali. Yoga is one of the greatest sciences to cure a lot of ailments. We need to create more and more skilled workforce in the yoga field as well. There are more and more yoga teachers who are coming up, and people are looking more forward to it. So I would say that this is a field where we as Indians have a lot of opportunity, and I'm very positive that we would be able to create more and more skilled manpower. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Rimchim. And now we have Vivek Thapa from Head of Strategy. Vivek ji, we would like to know more from you. Insights, Cambridge University is focusing on digital revolution, redefining talent dynamics. So we would like to know your insights on this.
Right. Thank you so much, first of all. As we said that, the theme is all about, the skill. We know that, by 2040, India will have the youngest workforce. The question is, will this youngest workforce be the skilled workforce or not? So that's why I believe most of us have gathered here to take an initiative that this young workforce becomes one of the most skilled workforce. And as far as in terms of our organization is concerned, you all know that, Cambridge University Press and Assessment is a department of Cambridge University. And we have been a front runner in digital initiatives in terms of education, not just in India, but worldwide. So we would have heard, our prior panelists talking about tourism, talking about, a lot of other industries, including retail, and also about a lot of health sectors where skilling is required. So if you look across all the sectors that has been the force for the skill, we will see that there is one common element which is there, which is English communication. So more number of people who will have the right set of skill communication across all these sectors will be able to cater to the better requirement of the nation. And not just nation, but also to the entire world. So in fact, if we talk today, about the skilled workforce, we see that, even in your catalog, it's mentioned Delhi NCR. So if you look at 15, 20 years back, it used to be called as Delhi. But why today it is called as Delhi NCR? Because NCR has grown up in terms of the skilled workforce that has comprised of Delhi NCR, right? And if you look at one of the key statistics that also reflect that, that majority of the Delhi NCR economic growth as well as the financial growth has primarily come from the NCR region. And it's majorly because of this word skill, where we can see that the graph of skilled workforce is gaining momentum in this particular part of the country. And similarly, it is happening across most of the places in the country. And I'm sure that, with the progressive state like AP, India will surely become the, the workforce, the skilled workforce capital of the country. And a progressive state like AP will be the powerhouse for generating this skilled workforce. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek. In fact, I still remember that last time when we had a meeting with the Commissioner of Technical Education, we are setting up English labs in our technical education polytechnic colleges.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that has been a great initiative by the government here, and I'm sure a lot of other states and a lot of other stakeholders also who are from the government bodies will take this up and will replicate it in their state.
We look forward to your continuous support in terms of setting up English center labs and labs in our polytechnic colleges, at the same time in degree colleges also.
Absolutely. We are all in for it, Kartikeya.
Thank you. Next we have my old friend James Raphael, Executive Head Retail Association Skill Council of India. So James, I don't want to give much introduction of yours because everyone knows about you. Everywhere, wherever you see retail outlets we have, so everyone knows James Raphael. So James, I have a question for you that changing equations of demand and supply management in digital age promotes digital learning for the retail sector in India. So I'd like to know more your thoughts on this.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. I understand there is a time constraint, hence I'll just in this. So a snapshot of what our organization, RASI, is all about. Approximately, as on date, 2 million assessments that we've conducted in the retail space, of which approximately 1.3 million certified. From that 1.3 million, approximately 1 million of the employable age, because we engage even at the school level. And of the 1 million that is employable and certified, approximately 0.6 million have been employed. Okay, so that's a background of what we've done till now. While we understand, in fact, the Honorable PM's vision is reaching a $5 trillion economy, and if we have to actually go all out for that, there has to be a sense of urgency. Hence, we've actually, we have a team that runs, does run-of-the-mill, and we have a team that does unconventional, unorthodox, and subverting the paradigm itself in the way skilling has been done. So the way we look at the industry is, about our industry, the good part is, as much as technology evolves, artificial intelligence, etc., permeates our space of life, yes, manufacturing job roles will shrink, service roles will keep on increasing, because the roles will not get replaced, they'll only get displaced. So the employability quotient is still going to be there. Wherever there is life, consumption has to be effected, and hence retail has to be there in an omni-channel method. Okay, so these were a few bullet points of the industry. The way we look at youth and the unconventional programs, it's very clear. You have the children who are fortunate to be in the education system. You have those who were not as fortunate to be in the formal education system, or some of those unfortunate who have passed through the education system but have landed up as social graduates far from being employable. So that is the second bucket. And the third bucket, which is very important, and barring a few sectors like IT, banking and telecom in our nation, you will see the percentage of the fragmented, or what we call as traditional way of doing business, is approximately 80 to 90%. In our case, it's 92% where retail is concerned. So we have the modern retailer, we have the traditional retailer. How to evolve and enable the traditional retail to the modern way of retailing is another journey that we're embarking on, because employment and employment options cannot be given only in Vijayawada or Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. It has to permeate across all the districts. So enabling the local retailer is never going to take a certified candidate, as much as whatever we may talk about certification, skilling, etc., etc. If the dukandar, the owner of the store, who's traditionally doing business but in a profitable manner, if he or she is not going to be certified, why will he or she value hiring a certified candidate? It's very clear. Okay, so you have to start the transition from them, converting them into this. So that's one model which we can work about. The other is, when we work with the education system, we've done a few structured launches across with the higher education department of 3 states, and wherein what we do is we guarantee a stipend-based apprenticeship right from the first day of the first year of the UG program. So enabling the person, is very important financially. So that, and the feedback, of kids who are going to government colleges and saying that I never had a television set in my house, and the first television set came through my stipend, and it's not a CRT, it's not an LCD, it's an LED. There are some kids who are saying I've sponsored my parents' first air trip. So that's economic empowerment. So we work on the guarantee where that is concerned. The other part is, which I said, the unfortunate who weren't in the system or were in the system and are still unemployable, we actually guarantee that also, which, because the rural India fact is that even if James was a person who was mobilized, state government is funding an initiative and enabling James to get skilled for a 45-day, 60-day type of program, which will increase my employability. I can get mobilized, I can sit in the classroom, I'll learn a lot. When I go home, I sleep hungry. The next day, I have to choose to use my money to travel to the training center or move to a location wherein I can get wages for myself so that I don't sleep hungry again. So that is reality. So what we are doing is, who's ultimately the consumer of talent? It's the industry. When we speak as Rasi, we speak representing 13 million retailers. That is our inherent strength. So there's no retailer that we cannot establish connect with. A lot of them have already started this. In fact, Andhra Pradesh is the first state that has already signed off, and we've already embarked on that journey, which we call actually Dil Se. So Dil Se for you is delivering industry-led skilled employees. Thank you so much.
Shashibhushan Rao, Director Satya Group of Education Institutions. We would like to hear from you, Shashibhushan ji. Industry academic partnerships be strengthened to bridge the gap between theoretical learning in academic institutions and practical learning at industry. So how you're ensuring that the better prepared workforce from your college?
Thank you, Kartikeya. Friends, we are listening from the morning itself how to bridge this gap, this industry academia, how to bridge this gap. The two things are involved, in my opinion. One is what is the cost involved, and then what is the connection involved. Here, who is going to bear the cost? So many companies are there coming forward, and then under CSR funds they are giving the money, and then other side the government is bearing the cost. If these two are able to connect, the second point I'm going to connect. I'm able to connect with these, whether with the government or with the company. I'm able to train my students. So between industry and academia, who has to connect these two? And then here the government comes. Kartikeya sir, you said what these type of the conclaves, it will help the organized by the government, will help in connecting the industry and academia. So for example, yesterday, Satyanathan, the Microsoft CEO is in India. He said by 2025, they are going to train 20 lakhs students in AA. So who are these 20 lakh students? More democratization should be there. In my opinion, only few colleges or institutes or universities, they are getting this. Not all it is distributed. So some mechanism should be distributed so that all education institutions they will be get benefited. So we are trying our best to connect to these institutions, and then organizations like this and conclaves like this will help us a lot. So if this continue, these type of initiatives continue, so definitely the employability skills of the students will increase. Thank you, Kartikeya.
Thank you, Bhushanji. Now we have Aparajita Ashish, Director, Animal Climate and Health Safe Foundation. Ma'am, we would like to know your insights from what are the strategies is the Animal Climate and Health Safe Foundation employing to adapt to the evolving talent markets dynamics in the digital age?
We have been working towards climate, health, and animals. So basically, a lot of people are going plant-based due to several reasons. First, due to ethical reasons, also climate reasons. Second, and health reasons, because it has a lot of benefits, health benefits in reversals of lifestyle diseases. So right now, the industry, plant-based industry is growing, expected to grow around more than 2,500 US dollar industry by 2028. And that requires a lot of professionals. Demand is very high. And we are looking for people who are good at renewable energy and ethical and agriculture and fair agriculture at the same time. Not just that, but also people are becoming entrepreneurs, and a lot of other career opportunities are coming in plant-based food industry. With that, we are also collaborating with institutes and encouraging institutes, educational institute, to promote sustainability field education. And with awareness, we are also making them understanding the problem, and with that, they are creating more innovative solutions. So, thank you.
Thank you, Aparajita. Thank you so much.
Of AP Limited. To Mr. Sanjay Kumar, Senior Vice President, Group CHRO, APAR Industries. To Mr. Prasad Gantasai, Senior Vice President, Global HR Head, Wipro FullStride Cloud. To Prithveesh MM, Associate Director, Global Talent Acquisitions, Biocon Biologics. To Rimjim Saikia, Director, Tatvik Ayurveda and Wellness Private Limited. To Mr. Vivek Thapa, Head of Strategic Initiatives, Cambridge University Press and Assessment. To Mr. James Raphael, Executive Head, Retailers Association Skill Council of India. To Dr. Maji Sasibhushana Rao, Director, Satya Group of Education Institutions. To Ms. Aparajita Ashish, Director, Animal Climate and Health Safe Foundation. Industry leaders, experts who have come from other parts of the country who are interested to collaborate with AP SSDC, kindly connect with that help desk for any kind of B2B or B2G meetings. His name is Mr.